right. If we sound good, you want to count us in?
Do I gotta hit the record button? Or?
It's already recording. If it's solid red, it's good. I always pre-run it.
Oh, okay.
So
he does your job for you.
Okay.
You gonna count us in or what, dog?
Count from whatever you want.
No, you just go 3, 2, 1.
Oh,
Really,
okay.
That's how
there's
we started.
no
So
real way.
3, 2, 1.
Boom, you fucking cunts. We're here in Fremont, California, in Adam's garage. Coming to you live, or I guess this won't be live.
Recorded, coming to you edited.
Coming to you recorded
It's live for us.
on our trip. This is our last stop before we head back to Sweet Home, Texas.
Yeah.
Today we got a special co-host sound engineer filling in for Jordan Chetelat. We got Mike T.M. He's a videographer. He's a photographer. And he's a music video director. I can't talk today.
Yeah.
And then we got me, who's Sean D. Skellington, and very tired. And we got my banging ass little bride here, Kylie. And by popular fucking demand, so stop commenting and emailing me.
Here you go.
Here we go. Adam, the duffel bag porn guy, Salazar.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Apparently became the famous overnight.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's our theme? We're doing
Did we decide? I think we're just doing
like fast times.
fast times and
Whatever. We're talking to Adam.
Yeah.
That's our theme today.
Adam's here. Be happy.
Yeah.
But before we dive into this shit, we have a goal of 1 million fucking subscribers, and we're a couple away from it. So,
Just like 3 or 4.
yeah, so do us a favor, get us one step closer by hitting that subscribe button. And the only way to influence other people to do that is celebrities. So today, in honor of our co-host here, we got a buddy of ours who is the singer of Nonpoint, Ellis, and it's one of your favorite bands, right?
Yeah, I love him.
Isn't
And-
it Elias?
Elias.
It's
Weren't you
Elias.
just there?
I'm so tired, and I fuck up every name, always. It's the singer of Nonpoint, dude.
Okay.
He was
Elias,
literally
woo!
practicing this right
Yeah.
before we started and still
Yeah.
got it wrong.
Yeah, he emailed me
Okay, so I'm taking over.
There we go. All right, well, here's his message. Boom.
Hey, what's up? This is Elias from Non-Point. This message is for everyone. I want to give a big shout out to Sean and the Necro Electric crew. Your podcast is dope, man. Keep up the good work. I'll see you at the next show. Peace.
Holy fuck, we're back. All right, so let's get into it. Stories. I've told a million stories about us.
Yeah.
We can hear Adam's side of it. How about the time we shot up the neighbor's house?
In my backyard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hooligans.
Well, we ditched school like always. And my dad had a couple of 22s hidden away in his closet.
Yeah.
And we were bored. We stumbled across them somehow. And
Well,
we
I saw
decided,
that you guys had like a metal box,
Yeah.
and I was like, dude, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, and so when we found him, we decided, hey, let's shoot him. You know, like since we're just
that
not
sounds
doing
like a
anything.
great idea.
So we load those fuckers up,
Was this
dude.
before
Have
Reno?
You ever seen the intro to Young Guns?
Yeah.
The movie?
How'd
Where
you even know how
they're
to
all
load
out there
them?
just fucking
Regulators watching TV. I don't know.
Knew from watching TV how to
mean,
load
yeah,
these
yeah, it's
guns.
not that hard.
Because it was like a lock action, 22
Video game.
So yeah, you
I
just
blame
put the
video
one in,
games.
lock it in, and then we took a bunch of my sister's Barbie dolls and put them up on the
no.
fence for target practice.
Yeah.
But it just didn't occur to us that there's another house beyond the
behind this
fence in my
cheap-ass
backyard.
thin
And bullets
fucking-
travel through.
Yeah, and they were just going right through the fence into the guy's house. I think we like shot out at like a lamp or a TV or
You're
something
so
like
lucky
that.
you didn't kill someone.
Well, because they weren't home because we were
Yeah.
all supposed to be at school.
Yeah.
Oh.
And the cops showed up to my dad's house, and
And his Bronco came flying in.
yeah, my dad. I was so pissed. Like I don't even remember what he did. I probably locked me in my room for like a straight week or something.
I just remember him just like screaming at us, like, "You guys don't fucking think about anything."
Yeah, it was a regular thing. like at least twice a week. We'd ditch school, go back to my
something
house,
crazy.
jump off the roof onto the trampoline, and
And let me tell you about this trampoline, right? So it had been jumped on a million fucking times, and we would climb up on his roof and dive off this thing. And it was sitting. Most people put their trampoline like in grass or like dirt. This one was over like a concrete pad.
yeah,
Right?
with the patio of the backyard patio,
And so
was just
you
a big concrete
you'd bounce
slab.
off, you'd hit that thing, you're like, woo! And then your back would slam against the bottom of the concrete. and you'd go
Oh.
flying off, like, oh my
That
God.
sounds terrible.
And not to mention, we were assholes and we would time it. So when somebody jumps off, you'd go.
Oh,
and
you would
jump
double
at the same
jump.
time.
Yeah, you spring them up.
Spring them up and send them up.
Send
And then
them
there was no safety cover for the springs. So you'd be doing like a flip or something, and then your leg would just go slamming right in between the springs, and you'd be like, "Fuck my leg, I'm stuck." And then some asshole would come and start jumping up and down
Yeah.
on it.
Nobody
Miracle you're
cared.
alive. I don't know how you're still alive.
It was hella funny.
Yeah. Oh man,
But I didn't even think twice about it when we were doing all that.
Of course not, because we were
Yeah.
bored and we just wanted something to do. This was like, like pre-internet days,
Yeah.
so it was either go outside and
I mean,
get
we
in
had
trouble
internet,
or-
but it was like brand new.
yeah. Well, there was like you
Dial
could
up.
go onto like chat,
Yeah,
dial up,
like
you
AOL.
go talk to somebody in a
Yeah.
chat room or something.
Yeah, and it would take like
but-
2 days to load a page.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What was everyone's first AIM name?
Sir Spanks a lot.
What? Was it really?
Yeah, it was at his house because
Yeah.
I didn't have a computer, but then we like got on AOL. We're like, let's like talk to chicks or whatever, and then
And you chose
Yeah.
Sir Spanks a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember that one time we went into some chat room. And we had convinced a couple of girls that we were in the band Silverchair.
yeah.
Oh my god.
we were just milking that for hours,
But
just
those
laughing.
chicks were probably actually 40-year-old men.
Yeah, no,
Oh
I
my
know,
God.
really.
Michigan or
Who knew? Who knew?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
convinced someone that I spoke German because I just put
like
Rammstein lyrics.
Oh,
everything.
yes. Copy paste.
You just keep writing Du hast.
Yeah.
Du hast mich.
So what was your AOL name?
Ocean Princess.
Ooh.
Of course. She's got her mermaid hair going.
Yeah.
I slipped my wrist at your dad's house on the fucking ramp.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, I thought you were just about to tell us about a suicide attempt.
No,
No.
I was like, what?
No, we used to skateboard on the
Well,
street.
we built
Yeah, and then
we built a really shitty like quarter pipe.
it had this
and-
like jagged ass metal.
Yeah, and a piece of metal like.
on the side
Again,
to
you're
grind
still
on.
alive.
And,
Well,
weren't-
you
weren't
went to
in
go
the-
visit your mom.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was starting to rain. And I was like, oh, I'm just going to skate this like half pipe for a little bit and then go home. And I went up and then it was so slick, like the whole ramp. I just like, my board went right out from under me and my hand just dragged across that metal rail. It was just like squirting blood. I still had the scar.
Oh.
And then your dad came out and he was
Yeah.
like, I was on the ground like bleeding in a puddle. And he's like, Sean, the fuck you doing? Get up. You're bleeding in my driveway. I'm like, dude, what the fuck, man? And then he brought me in and Michelle had to like patch me up.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
man. Yeah, man.
Well, you know, we should talk about how we met. We
okay.
we met when we were like 8.
Well,
Somewhere around
it was my first day at Mendenhall.
I was like, well, how old are you in 6th grade?
I think it was like
10?
12. Yeah,
11?
11,
Who knows?
10, 12.
However
around-
old you are in
around that
6th
age.
grade is when we met.
But when I started, it was actually, I think it was like the second to last year
Oh, okay.
of middle school. And yeah, so, they do the, the first day school assembly kind of thing. And, they have those pull-out bleachers in the auditorium and everybody's, sitting on them.
Yeah, and I was
and-
kicking it with my friends at the top of the bleachers,
And there was
rocking my sideburns.
yeah, and there was a girl. There was a girl that he was with, his friend Crystal, who like I as soon as I saw her, I was like, she's fucking gorgeous. I
Shout
gotta
out
go
That's
to-
the girl.
Shout out to Crystal Scoble.
yeah, I gotta go talk to her. And so I'm walking up the the bleachers to like talk to her, and Sean's sitting right next to her. And as soon as I get up, I don't even remember if I even like said a word.
No,
yet,
you
or-
did. Okay, so everybody was like, "Did you meet the new guy?" Right? And I'm like, nah. And they're like, he's got bigger sideburns than you, right? Because like in 6th grade, I had like Elvis, like just the young Elvis, like thin ones.
Yeah.
Mutton chops.
But nobody else had them, right? No, he had mutton chops. He had the.
They were like the whole
Wolverines,
duffle,
dude.
yeah.
Wow.
And they're like, yeah, this kid's got Wolverine fucking like mutton chops, and I'm like, what the fuck, right? And so for some reason I just didn't like him because he had sideburns. And then you came like stomping up, and he had like Adam used to draw like zombies and dragons and shit on his pants.
Yeah, my pants were like
That's
completely
tight.
like customized.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
And he had like a belt that was like 80 feet long that drug
Yeah.
behind him and
Oh
shit.
my
giant
God.
wallet chain that like goes past my knee.
Yeah,
Oh
like
my
a sock
God.
This was
beanie and shit.
peak 90s.
Yeah.
And he comes walking up the things, and then you said something to me like what up, bitch?
He probably
or-
just said hi, nice to
Yeah, I
meet
know,
you.
right?
something. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever he said.
Sean heard, "What up,
I
bitch?"
heard something
Yeah.
else. And then I was like, nah, not today, dog. And I pushed him down the bleachers.
You're an a-hole.
And he went tumbling down.
Yeah.
And then his leg got caught on like one of the last steps, and he was like, "Oh!" And then I thought like, like everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, what a loser!" But then everybody rushed down to like,
To help
Yeah,
this
to make
poor
sure I
man.
was-
Yeah, they're like,
they're
Sean.
they're like, "What's wrong with you?"
God, Sean, you're such an asshole.
And then he was down there. He's like, and I'm like, this fucking guy, dude.
Plan backfired.
And then,
man.
and then we just didn't like each other that much. And we had a couple classes, and I think like people would pass notes around or whatever, and I'd be like, "Let me see that note," and you'd be like, "Nah, fuck you," or whatever, like shit like that, just annoying stuff.
Yeah.
And then one day, he was behind me talking to somebody, and this is like days of Super Nintendo, and
It was probably like Dave Dufour.
Yeah, like Dufour or
Yeah.
something. Shout out to Dave Dufour, Doofy, and Karate Kid.
Yeah, the Karate Kid.
Whatever he is nowadays. And they were talking about Jurassic Park, and that game was really the first one that I think ever had a first-person view.
Well, it would change. It would change. Like if you were outside the building,
you
it was
had
like
the
the
dinosaurs.
Zelda overhead kind of thing. And when you
If
go in,
all of a sudden it was your perspective.
Yeah, it was like
And
Doom.
I'd never seen that like really before in anything other than Wolfenstein or Doom. And I was like, fuck. But that game was like $60 or something. I was like, dude, I need to play that shit. And then I'm like, yo, let me fucking play that shit or whatever. And he was like, nah, fuck you, man, or whatever,
Yeah.
And I'm
Good.
you don't
I'm
know.
like-
You don't know me.
I'm like, fuck this. I'm gonna follow him home, dude. So
You're such
waited.
a stalker.
I waited till after school, and then I tracked his ass all the way back down to his house, and then I waited till he went in there, and then I knocked on the door, and then he opened up. He's like, "What the fuck are
Yeah.
you doing
What the
here?"
hell are you doing
I'm
here?
like, "I'm here to play Jurassic Park, dude."
Oh my god.
And he's like, "All right, fine, fuck it."
Well, and I didn't have a whole lot of friends,
Yeah.
yet. Like, a couple of people in my neighborhood that went to school with us, but it just turned out like Sean and I had like everything in common, you know, and
like I was super like my mom like she worked all the time. She was real stingy with money. We're always broke. And I went to his house, and then that day he was like, "Yeah, come on in, I guess, whatever." And we start playing, and then his stepmom goes, "Hey, what do you guys want from McDonald's?" And for me, like I never got McDonald's, right? And I'm like, "Oh, we get McDonald's, dude? I don't have any money." She's like, "You don't need money. What do you want?" And I'm like, "What can I get?" She's like, "You can have anything. I'm a manager." I'm like, "Really?" And then I was
marry me, please.
Yeah, I was like, "Let me get like a Big Mac combo and like an extra cheeseburger." And she's like, "Okay, cool. Is that it?"
Yeah, is that it? And then
Is
Sean's
that
like,
it?
I can ask for more.
One of everything.
And I didn't believe it, dude. And then she came back with like all this because it was a bunch. He had his little brother. There was a bunch of
Yeah,
people
my
there. I was like,
stepsister.
"There's no way they're bringing this much food back." And yeah, they brought it back, dude. And I'm like, you know what? I'm settling in.
Never leaving.
and then he came over every single day
Yeah.
after that.
He was like a little puppy, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, well, free food and video games, I'm in.
And then we started bands together. We did all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
Everything. Tattooing.
Wasn't Mike in a band at one point with you guys?
No.
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 No, I was never
I
in
met
You were
Mike.
just doing the video stuff?
Yeah. I met Mike when we had the record label.
Oh, okay.
Just before the record
Or
label.
was it just before?
Yeah,
Okay.
because
This is when you were at the height of your like photography stuff.
it was right when I started because another photographer had scouted me,
Oh,
and then
okay.
she wanted me to help her with stuff, and then she introduced us.
Yeah.
And then
Her who will not be named.
Yeah, fuck off.
That's a whole other.
Shout out to her who would not be named.
Yeah, no, she can go fuck herself. And I'm sure she's even watching this because she stalks us.
You know who you are.
You know what you did. Yeah, no. So we just clicked and hit it off, and then yeah, he liked my thoughts on how I did stuff and all the ideas.
And then you shot Unconventional Thought Process's first video.
Mm-hmm.
It's still online. It's,
Grammar's Not Important.
Yeah, Grammar's Not Important.
Oh yeah,
Go check it out.
That was a really good one.
Yeah,
It's a Breakfast Club kind of themed music video.
Yeah, the whole introduction is shot for shot a recreation of
Yeah.
the opening of Breakfast Club.
Yeah, that's a good video.
When did you two meet?
Not till after you broke your leg.
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, yeah. Well, because
Yeah,
at
because
that point,
you guys had lost touch.
Yeah, we'd stopped talking for like 5-6 years.
We were in a band together, and like it was like our early 20s.
Shit went down.
Well, I went with like the chick that I was with at the time, and I wanted to do some stuff. He wanted to go back to Reno.
Yeah,
And then you went off and did the Reno thing, and then we just lost touch for a while. And then
with the odd thing about it was I had come move back. I still didn't talk to Sean, and then I became friends with a hardcore music magazine on MySpace.
MySpace.
Yeah, the MySpace
Shout out to
days.
MySpace.
And I had no idea that Sean was actually the creator of that magazine.
Oh.
And
because
so
I was in the editor thing.
yeah. You and,
There's an article
Nick
thing.
Caprioli.
Yeah.
And so
And Mike was a part of that.
Yeah, I did the covers.
yeah, okay.
Oh,
yeah,
that was the
didn't even know
NorCal
that.
hardcore?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
NorCal hardcore.
Yeah, I did all the photo shoots for the bands that were in the
Okay, yeah.
magazines and the
And then
covers.
so Sean invited me to one of the San Jose skate shows.
Rise of the Underdogs.
Yeah, through that.
Oh,
Because,
that was such a fun event.
his name popped and I was like, holy shit, man. Like, what's up, And we just, he just kept inviting me out to like go to do different things. And then it all culminated with the Whitechapel show.
Yeah.
Sean decides, he wants to stage dive off of like a 20-foot speaker rack.
Yeah, PA rig.
And he hits the ground.
Fabulous.
There's nobody, because there wasn't a whole lot of
Yeah.
people.
Well, I
there.
bounced off a Tongan dude, and then I came down and just my whole body weight on my left leg, and like the doctor said years of like just stage diving in general.
Yeah, just
Like, it
weakened.
weakened my leg.
Yeah. And so,
like
yeah.
Batman
so
in the beginning of the third one.
Yeah. Yeah. Got my little,
There's no cartilage.
you're done.
So he powdered his ankle and just shattered into like a bunch of little fragments.
Yeah. My fibula and my tibula.
Yeah, everybody that was there, we all panicked, and then we took him to the hospital.
Shout out to Courtney and her bag of fucking
Miscellaneous
pills. She was like, "You're in pain?" She's like, "Take one of these." And just
One
pulls
of them
out-
will make you feel
Yeah,
better.
I know. But I'm like,
I was
where-
like, no.
I'm like, where did she keep that bag too? Like, it was huge. It was a
Yeah.
giant Ziploc bag full of pills.
Oh my
I'm like, do you
God.
carry that with you all the time? Like,
Yeah.
what the hell is?
No organization to it.
Yeah, they're
That's
just
so
dumped in
funny.
like it was Easter egg
Yeah.
candies, Or,
Oh my god.
And I remember I was trying,
Mike and
like-
Ike's just-
yeah.
Because I grew up like in karate and stuff, and they always tell you like if you're injured, just focus until somebody can help you out, right? So I cracked my fibula and my tibula from basically my ankle almost up to my knee,
Yeah.
and then I got up and stepped on it and put bone shards through all my cartilage, right? So I knew I was fucked. So I'm sitting there and I'm trying to be calm, and Courtney is actually my drummer at the time, Kevin's wife, or his ex-wife now or whatever, but yeah, she's like in my face, like, it's okay to cry. It's okay to cry. I'm like, Adam, get her the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I'm sure that really helped.
Shit, take some of these.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what it could be birth control. It could be
Open
fucking
your mouth.
cocaine.
Fish
I don't
oil.
know what the fuck was in that bag, dude. And I was like, no, just get the fuck out of here. And then in my truck, I drove everybody, and my truck was a stick at the time.
Oh.
And I'm like, does anybody know how to drive a stick, right? And then we got to have Kevin on at one point,
Yeah.
but Kevin is kind of like a hype. He can do anything, guy, if you ask him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You
he
know?
can do it better than you.
Yeah. And Kevin was like, I can drive it. And I'm like, Kevin, can you can you really drive this? Because I didn't want. I was broke, so I didn't want an ambulance to take me and then have to pay for that. And I'm like, dude, it's only one exit away. Can you drive it without me fucking smashing my leg into my fucking dash a bunch of times? He's like, yeah, I got it. And then we're like, the whole way. I mean, shout out to Kevin. He tried like his best, and he got us there. And then I hit my leg a couple times, but I was like, all right, cool. At least I'm here. Adam goes flying out of the truck, gets the fucking wheelchair, and then I'm like, sweet, dude.
I could just see Adam running into the hospital. My friend is hurt. Help my friend.
Dude, he gets the chair. I jump in it. I'm thinking, okay, cool, man. Like, I'm here. I'm alive. They're going to get me. See, Adam whips it around real quick, runs me right into the curb.
Kills you.
One of the wheels hits the curb, and it almost tips the whole wheelchair over. I'm like, shit. Damn it.
And then I get in there. It's no time for him. We'll finish this one. We'll do it. And then I get in there, and then I thought I was safe again. And then they give me a little bit of morphine when they look at the injury. I've told this story before, but and then the nurse is like, "What's your pain at?" And I'm like, "She's like 1 to 10." I'm like 200. She's like, "All right." She's like, "Get him some more morphine." And then this guy comes over and he hits it, and just the whole fucking syringe all at once. The other lady was like, she only had like this much in her syringe, and she was like dripping it to me. You know what I mean? This guy goes, boom, and then she was like, I remember that's the last thing I remember was the lady's face. She just turned and goes, "Did you just give him all that?" And then I thought, "Did you just kill me?" And then I never felt anything like this in my life, but it felt like a dark blanket just started at my legs, and then it just fucking went over me, and then I'm like, yeah, that sucked.
Crazy.
All right, we got time for a sponsor.
Yeah, this episode is brought to you by Dark and Dreary Clothing. Dark and Dreary is an edgy fashion lifestyle brand that embraces great designs and unsurpassed quality. Dark and Dreary has quickly gained a following amongst fans of the occult horror, punk rock, heavy metal, and all-around free thinkers and retailers worldwide without shoving a preachy, trendy, or political message down your throat. So, buy the best, fuck the rest, darkanddreary.com.
Boom.
You know, I missed the Made After Midnight slogan.
Yeah. Oh, you missed that one?
Yeah, that was such
That was
a
a good
great,
one.
like, visual or, like, thought.
Well, because it was true. I used to make that shit, like, late hours of the
Yeah.
night when we
Yeah.
lived in San Jose.
True.
Now I make it during the day. So.
Yeah.
So now, Made Afternoon.
Made after
Yeah.
him. So I'm going to ask Adam a question. I'm sure all our viewers are wondering.
Oh, here it comes.
Yeah.
And definitely Scuba Belly. Shout out to Scuba Belly.
Scuba Belly, this one's for you.
What's up, man?
Adam, what happened to the duffel bag?
What happened to it? So, I had it for like the longest time, and because at a certain point, like, everybody else just kind of like, you know, grew up or moved away or, you know, did something, and I just got, you know, stuck holding it.
I'm sure it wasn't by design.
Well, and if anybody's not familiar, when we were kids, there was a handful of us, and we used to just all put our porn into one bag.
Because that's totally a normal thing to
everybody
do.
would just, well, because
For
Well, you
boys,
want to
yeah.
hide it. Yeah, you want to hide it from your parents. You know, you can't like put it
so
under the
weird.
bed or something like that. You know,
And it changes location,
And plus
so
we-
each
yeah,
parent
yeah.
doesn't get doesn't get wise.
okay.
And plus, we
you know?
stole the porn from like most of our parents. And
yeah.
Oh,
So you know,
That's even worse.
you think we got
You're
it
not
from?
making it any
where else would a 13-year-old boy get a Hustler magazine?
Shout out to Sam Cohen. I had some of that 70s porn.
Oh my god.
He'd been holding on to it forever.
Yeah, so I ended up, when I moved back to Reno, I ended up going with me. And then for a while, I was just living out of my car. So everything that I owned was in my car. And then my car got stolen.
Oh fuck.
And cops ended up finding it like out into the desert,
Yeah.
like completely like just mangled, and
Oh,
everything
man.
was gone. So
Now it's in some lucky cop's trunk.
Yeah, right. Right.
yeah. So I don't know, you know, it's gone to the sands of time.
You know, whoever stole the car was just like, jackpot!
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also because back then
Pulp
too.
Fiction moment.
Yeah. Well, because back then too, like that was really like the only place like you get it. Like you find a magazine or like a VHS tape or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah,
you know?
because we had cell phones, but they weren't like smartphones.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
No,
It,
internet
like-
was still dial-up.
Yeah. Yeah. It was like you know.
This was
Pagers.
during the era. Remember when he was dating a girl named Sandy at the time, but she got super pissed because you bought Girls Gone Wild.
Yeah. Well, because it was me and Kyle.
Yeah.
Because they would always have the commercials like on TV, for the
they
Girls
always
Gone
did
Wild.
those, yeah.
And so we decided one time, we're like, hell, let's just go get it,
Yeah.
And then and it was garbage anyways, it was barely anything. But
Shout
Didn't
out to
live
Kyle
up to your
Chambers.
expectations.
no, absolutely, it was a total disappointment. But she got pissed. So when I came home one day, I found him like just smashed into pieces in my closet, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, even if like you didn't like it or whatever, like you'd probably like sell it or something and get some money. You just made a bunch of garbage in my room now.
Yeah. That was a weird time because I remember coming home, like we worked at Mel Disco's, like this shoe company or whatever.
Yeah.
But I remember the only things that were ever on the TV were Dragon Ball Z, Faces of Death, and Girls Gone Wild. I don't know if that's the only 3 things we had at the time, but that's like...
Yeah, well, we didn't have a whole lot of videotapes. It was either that or like that Korn documentary. The Korn home video. Or
I have that.
the Pantera one. It was like one of like 6 videos, and you just had to cycle them if you got bored.
Oh,
We watched
gosh.
Faces of Death so many times. There's like a bass line in the thing, and these guys wrote like a rap to it. So it'd come on, they'd all start rapping.
Well, because at
to
a
it.
point, like you would go out to work, and then me and Kyle would just like sit at home and just like dick around all day, and then we'd be coming up with like raps or like like trying to like design like a video game, even though like none of us had any idea how to do that. We just had our crazy
Maybe
ideas.
if we think about it hard enough, it'll just happen.
Somebody can do this for us.
Yeah.
Well, we did buy... PlayStation had some kind of design a fighter game or something.
It was Make a Fighter.
Yeah, Make a Fighter.
Yeah, we tried that, and then the other one was the RPG Maker.
Oh,
I think.
Oh, yeah,
And,
yeah.
and it was like a old school Final Fantasy kind of overhead, little pixel people and stuff, and you could just
I
make
think-
your own game.
But it was just like
They still
tedious
have
code to
those.
make it work.
I
There's
think
been
so.
like multiples.
Yeah. Oh, it was. Yeah, I think they did, but this was like the very first one.
And then we had all kinds of ventures. We played in a band. I think people will think it's interesting to see your perspective. I remember when I told the story not too long ago, but when we opened, when the Hilton first opened the garage.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Kathy's dryer.
There may or may not be laundry happening right now.
You
No,
might
it's
have
just
to
the
open-
sensor.
No, hold on. You're done.
Yay!
All right.
So like the Hilton opened up this rock club. Well, I
It
don't
was
know,
a-
we
it was
wouldn't
a
call
bar.
rock club,
It was a
yeah.
bar.
It was like a bar with the giant full stage, full setup, but it faced the casino floor. So
yeah.
everybody gambling saw this shit, right?
Well, I can hear it too.
Yeah. And we had played like a couple shows, and somehow the promoter was like, "Oh yeah, this band draws," so they invited us. And before we,
It was a battle of the bands, right?
yeah, I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
It was a battle or a showcase or something. But I remember Nick was like, "Oh, this is a big show. I'm gonna go pawn." Nick Caprioli, which was our bass player at the time. Shout out to Nick. He's the guy from some
I
of
was
that
waiting for it.
or other stories. And he was like, he had a perfectly working bass, but he was like, "This is a big show. I need a better bass." And he went down and he pawned his bass for like $100, and then didn't get his paycheck or something. So
Yeah.
then he was out of bass.
Yeah, he
couldn't
had no bass.
and they wouldn't give it back to him.
Yeah.
So then we hit up our buddy Beaker. Shout out to Beaker. And we're like, "Dude, we need a bass for this show." And he's like, "Nah, fuck you guys."
Yeah.
And
Wasn't
then-
he like out of town or something
he's
like that?
"Yeah, I'm out for the weekend or something. Fuck you guys." And we're like, "All right, cool." And then we broke into his house,
Oh my god, you would.
and we got we technically we broke into his room.
Yeah.
We just went through his bedroom,
Still part of the house.
took his bass, and then we went off to the show. And then we get there, and it's a bunch of like college, like alternative rock.
Yeah,
or
I mean, I
pop
would
rock.
almost say because the band that was playing before us was almost like a Pearl Jam
Yeah,
kind
kinda
of
deal.
/ Primus
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Definitely not offensive to the ears. You know what I mean? We
Yeah.
we were just
Easy
like
listening.
Yeah,
straight up like new metal.
it's something you
hardcore
would
band.
hear on
Yeah.
the radio.
Yeah.
And then we kind of huddled up, and we were like, "Dude, we can't like go full balls to the wall
Yeah.
in the soundtrack because they're gonna shut us down.
Right.
So like I was playing guitar at the time. Adam was the lead singer. So the guy's like, "You guys got distortion?" I'm like, "Yeah, we don't use it that much though." And then I was a DoD Metal Zone pedal, super heavy pedal. And then I turned it on. I'm like, "Yeah, maybe just for solos or whatever." And I went like, just give it like the lightest chug I could. And then the rest of the stuff I did with clean. And then he's like, "What about you, guy? Are you screaming or are you singing?"
Yeah, and he's just like mic check,
Yeah.
So I'm just like, check.
Yeah.
No, that
Playing
sounds
cool.
good. Don't worry about it.
And then the other bands play, and then they're like, "All right, you guys are up." And then we get up there, and then we're like, "Okay, they're gonna shut us down, so do not take any breaks.
Yeah.
Let's go song to song to song."
Yeah.
Don't give them a chance to even
Damn.
interrupt us.
Damn.
Yeah, and then we just straight up blasted through that set until they cut us off.
Well, I remember seeing the faces of everybody that was watching, because I don't remember what song we played first, but it just goes right into it, like right away.
Yeah.
There's no build up or anything. It's just guitar, screaming, drums, all at once, and everybody was like, "Oh my god!" And like,
You got 80-year-olds
like,
like
blew back,
playing the fucking slots, like what the fuck?
Yeah, you can see everybody in the casinos, and
stroke.
they're turning around, like looking at what the hell's going on.
You can hear the sound guy in the monitors, like what's going on, guys?
When he's like trying to panic, and he's like adjusting all these levels and trying to turn it down.
Oh, I have a similar story. I was in a band, and it was back when Borders. There was one at McCarthy Ranch here,
like the bookstore.
Yeah.
Shout out to Borders.
Doesn't exist.
So they had like, I don't remember if it was Battle of the Bands or just like an open mic night or whatever. And I think we were one of two like rock bands that were there, like full bands. And so we were at the end of the night. And when we got there was just this one guy on an acoustic, and he was playing
Oh yeah.
Hold on, I want to hear more.
I'm like blanking
When
on
I'm
the
a
song.
walking, I
Yeah.
shut my staff.
And no one was into it, and like we walk in while he's like doing it, and we're doing the claps, and he just gets super excited. So like
Yeah.
it seemed to be like the first time that people joined in on him, and he was all like super happy. And we're like, oh, okay, so it's like this. But we didn't have a conversation like that, like you guys had. We just it came to our thing. We
You thought
set
you were
up.
all good.
Yeah, we set up. We played, and like people were moshing, like because we always brought a crowd.
In the bookstore.
No, luckily it was like right outside the cafe.
Oh, okay.
Because in McCarthy Ranch, like that very first shopping center on the left,
Shout out to McCarthy Ranch.
it's got this like
It's a thing we do on the show. I have to do it every time, dude.
it's this big open area like right next to the building,
Yeah.
and they never had it again.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You
Yeah.
ruined it.
Yeah,
Good
we
job.
ruined it for everyone.
Shut it
Well,
down.
Mike's been there for a couple of bannings of my band or previous
Well, yeah,
bands.
when you were talking about the sound guy, that reminded me of the quarter note.
Yeah.
Not shout out.
Shout out to Gabe.
Yes, shout out
Rhino,
to
our buddy
Gabe.
Rhino, dude, for fucking ripping down the lights and
So we were playing this show, or they were playing the show at the quarter note, and they were sound checking, and the fucking sound guy's like, "Could you turn down like 2 decibels?" And it's like, the fuck?
yeah, you're the sound guy, dog. Just
Yeah.
adjust it.
Yeah.
And then he was bitching to me because I stepped on the caged monitors. They had monitors that were caged.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You cannot hurt these monitors. And he's like, could you not step on my monitors? I'm like, could you not just fucking start the show?
Yeah.
And he hated me because remember, I didn't know who he was. So when we pulled in to load, I parked right by the door, and he came out and he was like, "Hey, buddy, you need to move like one space over." I'm like, "Go fuck yourself, dude." Like,
Yeah.
I'm busy, dude.
Also,
He's like,
this wasn't the first show that you guys played there either.
yeah. And we brought a crowd, and
Yeah.
we were the I think we were the
you
headlining that
so
night.
in the
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Well,
but this
you
dude
had,
was just
you
like
had previously played a double headlining show because one of the bands pulled out, and you're like, we don't have another band, so they're like, no, fuck you, you're gonna play 2 sets.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we'd been there, but yeah, and then I told that dude to fuck off with the parking,
Yeah.
and then from that point he was just like, "Fuck you, I'm gonna ruin this show."
Yeah.
So every time I stepped on the monitor during our set, he would turn me off.
Yeah. He'd mute your mic.
Yeah, and then I was getting fucking enraged, dude.
That
And
would
I-
be so
and
annoying.
he was just like, "This is my club. this is my house, you know.
Oh my
and I'm
god.
like, oh yeah, well fuck you, man, fuck this place. And then our buddy started like, tearing
Gabe.
the fucking
He's
shit off the walls and
just grabbing anything and like destroying it.
yep. And then they just cut it, and then fucking
Horrible.
then they were like, you're never playing here again.
Well, didn't you just throw the mic and just start screaming anyways?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hey, what was that one place where yeah, I think it was like another band like showcase, but it was like in a tiki bar kind of thing or something. They had that stage, and then they had those like prize raffles or
Oh,
something.
the Suicide Girls show.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
oh, I almost
That was
forgot about
so
that.
much fun.
Yeah.
Because like you were like kicking all like the
Yeah, and
the
then-
raffle prizes off of
Somebody
this
got
thing.
hit in the head with the fucking
With a mug, a glass mug or
Yeah.
something.
No.
And
And
then-
I threw the mic stand into the door of the fucking.
Like the backstage green room.
Oh, the
And-
promoter was not
Well,
ready for us.
Oh,
Didn't
yeah, it
didn't
sounds
Adrian
like
like
it.
hit on his girlfriend or something
Yeah.
like
The
that?
promoter's
Yeah,
girlfriend?
yeah, the promoter's
The-
girlfriend.
One of the Suicide Girls. He
Yeah.
kissed her.
Oh, he kissed
Yeah,
her.
he
He just
kissed
straight
her.
up kicked because he
Shit.
would do shit like that. He would
Yeah.
just walk up to a random girl, grab her, and just like start making out with her,
Oh
and
my
then she'd
God.
be like, "Get the fuck off me!"
And the ruckus started again because of a sound guy. Because I told the dude like, don't rap. Because I'd seen in previous things he rapped the microphone 800 times for people, and I'm like, dude, I don't want a mic stand. We're a crazy band that gets crazy on stage, and these mic stands are a liability to us.
Yeah.
I don't want a mic stand. Just give me a loose microphone. And then he's like, yeah, whatever. And then he goes in and he raps it right in front of me a million times,
Oh
and I'm
my
like,
gosh.
all right, guy,
Okay, guy.
that's the way we're gonna do it. That's the way you're gonna get it.
yeah,
And then they were just like dragging on with the Suicide Girls, like because they're making dudes like do push-ups and shit for like swag.
Yeah.
And then I was like, all right, you know what? This is just too much. So I unplugged the microphone, which goes like, wah! Undo that shit, plug that shit back in, throw the fucking mic stand. It sticks into the fucking door that you come out on the stage in. There was girls, a little girl punk band or whatever that was in there. And they're
yeah,
like, what the fuck?
yeah. They're all like 15 years old.
Yeah.
And then I go and I'm like, all right, the Suicide Girl shit's over with, and I kick all the fucking swag bags into the crowd, and then booted one, but apparently that one went and smashed somebody in the head at the bar.
Oh no.
And there's only like 2 security guards. They're not prepared. This was like an
Yeah.
alt rock, like pop kind of event.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Definitely, we were the heaviest, one of the heavier bands. And then
Yeah, for a Suicide Girl event, you would think there would be heavier bands, but it was like
Yeah.
super like PG.
and the promoter already hated us because the San Francisco local television was like, it was like Channel 12 or whatever, was there interviewing bands, and he's like, you guys need to be here to like be part of this Channel 12 thing. And we went down the street and drank apple beer and fucking
Yeah, you don't show up until the last moments of the show.
and
We're
then
hardcore. We drink apple beer.
it was fucking watermelon beer. That's what it was.
Oh, I'm sorry, watermelon.
Yeah,
It was
no, it was
watermelon.
21st Amendment Brewery.
That's
shout out to
different.
21st Amendment Brewery. And
No,
shout out
so
to
it's
Kevin
actually
because
really
he was
good
the one
'cause they
that
have
was
a-
like, we got to have the watermelon
Oh
beer.
yeah, he was all about that watermelon.
They have
beer.
a chunk of watermelon in it. So when you're drinking it, and the best
Oh.
part is when you're done, you take a bite out of that, and it's
Oh.
amazing.
Yeah, I've only tried it canned. It was gross.
I mean, it's not bad, but next time just put a hunk of
Watermelon.
Okay.
watermelon in the
All right,
glass,
next
and then
time
eat
I
it
have
after.
watermelon beer, I will do that.
Yeah, so he already hated us by the time we got back. But then I went and kicked all the swag, and then Adrian grabbed one of them and kissed her, and that turned out to be the promoter's girlfriend. So he was like already hating us forever. And then just chaos ensued
Well,
from
he
there.
ended up getting into a fight with a guy
Yeah.
because Adrian was drunk at this point, you know, because he immediately starts to get drunk after the set is done.
Yeah.
He
And then-
starts it before the set.
Well, yes, and then finishes right after the set.
Yeah.
And then some guy was like moshing in front of him or whatever, and it was just ticking him off, I guess. So he pushes him, and then they push back, and then they're on a wrestling match, like on the floor. And one of the 2 security guards has to come over and, you know, peel them off each other.
Sounds like quite the show.
It was awesome. And then it's one of my favorite things. I wish I could find it. I got an email like a week later, and it was this long letter banning us from, I forgot the name of the club. It was like, it's a famous club in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's really nice. It's 2 stories. Like it was cool, but yeah, it was like a letter. It's like, you're the most disrespectful dangerous, fucking whatever band.
Yeah, reckless.
Thanks.
Reckless.
Reckless.
I
Yeah.
will never
Thank
hire you
you.
ever again. All this shit. I was
Yeah.
like, I was so proud of that. I was like,
Oh my
that's rock and roll. And then the funny thing was, then remember a year later, I got another email like, hey, do you guys want to play?
Yeah, I know. They
Wanna play
invited you
again?
back, and then you were like, I thought you banned us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I wrote back, yes, I would love to. And then, but that was because another person was booking. But then the owner was like, no.
Yeah,
He's
fuck
like,
those
"No,
guys."
you didn't." Yeah, he's like, no.
Denied.
That's funny. We're coming up on the end of our show, guys.
Oh,
shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Looks like time flies.
Yes, it
Do you want to
does.
do another ad real quick?
Yeah. This next sponsor is Mod Ministry merch. Mod Ministry creates for the edgy woman, the kind of woman who works hard but plays much harder, who embraces femininity but tests the social limits. We are not for the faint of heart. We are bold. We are beautiful. Check out the Mod Ministry Etsy page for handmade harness lingerie. 5-star rated since 2014.
5 stars. Strap it on.
Hell yeah.
People think it's weird when I say strap it on.
Yeah,
But I
it
mean,
is.
that's
Well,
what
because if
do.
you
That's
take
what you
if you
do,
take
huh?
out the it,
Yeah, strap it.
strap on. Okay.
So, but other than the duffel bag, so here's the timeline. So I met Adam when we were kids. Then we played in bands together. Then we had a little break, and then we came back, and then he actually took care of me because I was in the end of like a relationship I was in, and then we like went real sour.
yeah,
Yeah, whatever.
yeah, whatever. not important. I ended up taking care of him because his girlfriend did not want to.
Yeah.
So I just
That's
ended
how
up So I just ended up moving back in with Sean,
And never left.
I just never left. And then
Yeah.
and then when you two met,
Yeah.
Sean was like totally changed, and he was like, I'm gonna be like this like family man and stuff, and I was like, what the fuck?
Like, where'd my friend go?
But in between all of that, we traveled a little bit. We went to Louisiana. We opened our own tattoo shop. We tattooed for like nearly 10 years,
Yeah.
And then that turned into a video game cafe, like one of the first ones.
Yeah, because Livermore just started getting swamped with tattoo shops. Like there was
Yeah.
just so much
Like in
competition.
1 year, they opened up like 5.
Yeah. So we
and
were like,
you had to fight to get a spot because
Yeah.
they didn't want any tattoo places at the time.
well, they still treated it like a real taboo thing. They're like, you can't be a certain amount of miles from downtown, and our building like literally faced away from the parking lot.
Yeah, and then the next year, right in downtown.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course, hypocritical. But so we decided to change it into a video game like lounge and bar, just to try to like make something new. But our lease was coming up,
And
and
then they wanted to, because Livermore is, becoming more of a wine town, a more
yeah,
bougie town.
like a hipster, kind of thing. So we said screw it, and we just left and just kind of got normal jobs.
Yeah. But we had a lot of fun in that tattoo shop those 10 years.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
All the parties. We had there was a, what do you call it, fucking nail shop around the corner from us. 2 separate occasions, old ladies just
Drive
drove
through.
through the fucking building. We'd be
That's
tattooing,
crazy.
and then you'd hear, oh, a fucking car just hit the fucking building.
Yeah.
And you hear
Yeah,
like, oh shit.
A little old lady comes walking out.
Kylie was so hungover one time she blacked out
so
in that
hungover.
nail.
I went to
place.
go get my nails done, and I'm sitting in the chair, and I think all the fumes or something, I just passed the fuck out.
And some Asian lady comes running in. Oh, your girlfriend? She blacked out.
On the floor.
I'm like, what the fuck? So many crazy things. Adam boxed Gabby in the parking lot.
We used to fight
Oh my
like
God.
fist fight like all the
Really?
time. Yeah.
Oh man, we have great stories of that time, like our
God.
Disneyland trip.
Oh God. Yeah. Kelly and Gabby brought so much entertainment, just the two of them, because
Shout out to Shipwreck Kelly and Gabby.
they used to fight like all the time, but it was
Yeah.
so entertaining. Like it was so funny.
Yeah,
Give my laptop, Gabby. We heard that
I want a pickle.
on
Give
the
me a pickle.
pickle. Kelly would be in the bathroom upstairs because you
Yeah.
could see their bathroom from the couch downstairs.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then you would just hear like the door would crack open. Gabby! Gabby, get my laptop, Gabby. She's like, fuck you. We just crack up.
I still tell the story of we took a trip to Disneyland and we're all adults, right? And like Disneyland is not the most magical place if you don't have a child, right? It is like terrible to be just adults,
and it was
in
like
Disneyland.
peak season when we went.
Yeah, so we're waiting for the tram to get into Disneyland. So we're still in the parking lot, not even there. Was it you or was it Kelly? It was Kelly. The person behind us was like playing with his son and like roughhousing with his son, which is fine. But he kept like knocking into Kelly, and Kelly turns around and he's polite at first, and he's like, "Hey, could you back up a little bit?
Well, and the funny thing to me with that situation is, so Kelly spent like $40 on this fucking ball cap he had on or whatever, and he was wearing it all stupid, like barely hanging on his head. And then the guy would hit him in the hat, fall off, and I could just see him getting super irritated.
Yeah. So he tells the guy,
and it was a Hispanic guy with his kid. That's an important part of the story.
I'll get to the whole thing. So he's playing with his son, and Kelly tells him the first time, and the guy doesn't listen, and he's still just roughhousing. And so Kelly whips around, shoves the guy, and he's like, "Why don't you back the fuck up?" And then the guy like puffs up his chest and just starts,
And then we're surrounded by families with children.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And
it's Disneyland.
So he gets, visibly upset, and then he starts mumbling something in Spanish, and Kelly's girlfriend whips around in this thickest fucking accent. "This is California. We all speak Spanish." We all just start laughing.
And they don't speak a fucking lick.
Yeah, no, they didn't have no idea what he was saying.
No clue, but like she just bluffed, and he bought it.
And then so the guy like slowly grabs his kid and like pushes him back a little bit.
Oh, dude, we were making jokes about it the whole day. We're like, "Oh, we just ruined their day. He's gonna beat his kids in the park."
That's so funny.
That whole thing was.
And then instantly after that, we get onto the tram, and as we just start to like pull away, Sean's doing something, and then he starts like sticking his arm like out the window or whatever, and then the whole thing comes to a stop, and he comes on the speaker, and he's like, "Sir, you got to keep all your arms and legs inside the tram at all times." And then Sean's,
"Are you too?"
Yeah. Well, and then so Sean's like, "Well, it's not like I did this," and then he goes, pretends to like jump out the side of the tram. So the guy slams on the brakes again.
He's like, "We will have you removed."
Yeah. And he was like, "This is the last time I'm going to tell you."
Oh my God.
And then we didn't, before we even got into the park at that, was it you or
I know I got stopped. I got stopped at the front because one of like the undercover security spotted a fold out knife like in my pocket, and he was like, "You can't take that inside." And I was like, "Oh shit, I totally even forgot I had it."
Yeah.
Oh, I had one too, and I just like clipped because it's clipped, and so I just put it in my pocket.
Yeah.
And this is all before we're even through the gates.
Yeah, this is like the first 30 minutes of us getting to Disney.
Well, when we were in there, I remember Adam had a special ringtone. It was from C-Lab.
C-Lab 20. Yeah, C-Lab 2021. I think.
Yeah,
it was.
And it was what's the character's name?
Well, yeah. So Sparks, his favorite show is about like a whale. Like the Moby Dick whale or whatever. And so every time they asked him about it, he was like, "I gotta have that dick." And so I had a ringtone that just like repeated that,
I gotta have that dick.
Yeah.
That's what it said?
He goes into the bathroom, and I'm sitting outside the bathroom, and I call him.
Yeah. We're like, call his ass. So
Call him now.
Taking a piss.
Oh my God.
So you just hear that coming from the stall. I gotta have that dick.
And then we stuck stickers on all the mascots.
Yeah.
Adam punched the kid.
I didn't punch him.
He elbowed the kid.
Elbowed him.
But this is a good story too, because I was telling someone about this story too, because the kid was like behind us and he was tugging on Adam's chain, like his chain wallet, and Adam looks at the kid and looks at the parents and they just shrug.
Yeah. And I'm like, "Okay, so I'll take care of it."
Yeah.
And the kid was like, "What?"
And he was like, he had like stars in his eyes, and then he stopped doing it.
And then was it you or was it Kelly that kicked the stroller?
No, that was me.
Oh, no.
Because this lady had, like, there weren't even kids in the stroller. It was like all her shit.
Yeah.
Like, she has like bags and stuff in there, and it's like super crowded. Like,
keeps
even on the
giving 'em, like, flat
pathways.
tires.
Yeah, she keeps running into my ankle with
Oh
the
my
thing. And again,
God.
I look back, I give her a dirty look, and she like pretends not like to see me or
Yeah.
whatever. And so when it happened again, I just turned around and kicked the stroller. I'm like, do something.
Yeah.
Trying to fight old ladies. And shit.
And then I think we had to ride together for the.
The Matterhorn.
Yeah.
So if you guys have never been to Disneyland,
It's a bobsled.
Yeah, it's a bobsled, and it's two people, and then two people in the front, one in the back. Yeah, but the two people in the front typically like you sit in their lap, and so we're
God.
in line, and I go and jump in the back of one of them, right? And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And then I see Adam and Mike, and the guy's like, you two,
Yeah.
front of this one, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What, the front?
Yeah.
And then,
So Mike slides in first, and then I gotta like slide in behind Mike with my legs all bowed out, and I'm like, we're riding a horse like together or something,
Adam, just think about baseball.
Yeah, I know, and then the thing about the Matterhorn too is like it's a really old bumpy ass like ride,
Yeah.
so we're just getting slammed into each other. Like
so he's
the whole
basically
time.
dry humping Adam's back.
Yeah, like the whole time, and then we get out, and I'm like, we're not doing that again. Hell no.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
that's good.
Didn't
Wait.
killing Gabby, didn't she flash the thing or something?
I wouldn't put it past her, but
I want to say there was something to do with the pictures, and we were all just like, what? And just left as quick as we could.
If you flash it, they don't put your picture on the part where you preview it.
There was some shenanigans that happened with that. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, one of the worst things was just fucking going on It's a Small World.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm like, that thing is so long and boring, but like Gabby
Yeah.
like desperately wanted to go on
Yeah.
that, And we were all hanging out, so if one person's going, we're going, because we don't
Yeah.
want to like split the group up in Disneyland.
we're rocking the boats. We're
Yeah.
Oh my
talking
God.
shit. Families are irritated. That's pretty much everywhere we went.
Yeah, I know. We are not family friendly.
No.
No.
No. Nope.
All
Almost
right.
got an hour, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a fast one. You guys got some shout outs?
Shout out to Tatsu Hobby, local hobby shop. I don't know when this is going to air, but December 14th, they have a competition.
Okay.
That's my birthday.
This will air in 2 weeks from now.
Yes.
Yeah, so it should make it.
Yeah.
So
So shout out. So what is it called? I can't pronounce. I'm gonna fuck
Tatsu
it up.
Hobby.
Tatsu.
Tatsu.
What you got any more?
No.
What about you, love?
Shout out to those poor people at Disneyland you terrorized. Feel you. Like I would have thought it was funny back then, but as a mother now, I would
I'm
be
sure.
terrified.
Bunch of
Opinions have
metalheads.
changed.
Yeah.
It was a big group too.
Shout out to Mickey Mouse.
Well, I mean, you see a bunch of guys walking around in like black and
Yeah.
chains and stuff.
Yeah.
You're not going
You
to
just
say
stay far
anything.
away.
Shout out to Rick Glassman, Stevie Weeby, Craig Efros, everybody that we've met and hung out with on our trip. Ron Jeremy, fucking I'm gonna fuck his name up. Hunter, what's his name? The black comedian guy.
Oh, Hannibal Buress.
Hannibal Buress.
Thank you.
And my boy Adam and Mike. What about you, dude?
No.
No?
No, I don't know.
everyone.
My mom,
out to
Kathy,
Kathy.
yeah, she's been a big, part of Sean's life as well, because
Yeah.
he's basically like my brother,
Yeah.
and just I don't know, my family and friends, and my life's pretty boring actually.
All right, guys. Well, do us a favor, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you guys in Texas. Later.
Peace.